This made me laugh. I thought it might make you laugh. The Smithsonian magazine was saying that all crop circles are fake, and that's because the Smithsonian are fake themselves. And I say that because they're the ones that got done in a court case 1902 about destroying giant skeletons because they didn't want our true history to be known to us. And they're also funded by the Rockefellers, who, once you know who they are and what they're up to, there's no way they want us to know that these crop circles are done by orbs. And there's lots of people now, not just Levengood, Dr. Levengood, but there's other people now that have been researching the crop circles, the genuine ones. As you see here, the actual node length increases in a genuine crop circle. So it gives a 400% extra yield on the actual crop itself. So watch my previous videos I've done on crop circles and how it's done and why they do it, etc. But I just thought it was funny, the Smithsonian, I hate them. Sorry. Have you heard of the possibly true story of a bottomless hole called Mel's Hole? Now, he found this outside his house and he would just throw rubbish in it. His neighbours would throw rubbish in it. And over time, they realised that it was never filling up. So he used fishing wire to see how deep it was. He used a whole reel. He used another reel on top of that reel, and so on and so on. And eventually he called the radio show called Coast to Coast and spoke to Art Bell and explained it to him. Cutting a very long story short, the military finally got involved and pushed him out of his house, and he had to go sort of semi in hiding. And there was reports that the actual military were there and doing something near his house, which is exactly what he said. He ended up going off and staying with some Native Americans who also showed him another hole. Did you know NASA's Perseverance lander found a lump of metal in between some rocks on Mars? Now, NASA says it's probably part of their craft. However, was there any other structures on Mars that could be alien? Well, looking here at the Daily Star, when you click on the image, the link, it's dead. But I managed to go back and find, using a weigh machine, the actual images that was on that newspaper, and as you can see, they clearly look like Egyptian type carvings. Now, were the Anunnaki on Mars? Well, yes, they were. Look at these. This is Enki's name in different tablets. Now, for someone to say that Enki was made up over thousands of years, written in different tablets over and over and over. So yes, the Anunnaki were on Mars, and they are the ones that taught the Egyptians how to create these statues. So they would have done it themselves. Any religious people want me to explain to them why God is classed as a male figure? I will do that right now. And it's not because what it says here, masculine. Now, if you look here, our Father who art in heaven, Father, okay? Heaven is space. Now, if you don't believe me, then just take any Bible you want. When man looks to the heavens and sees the sun and the moon and the stars. Now, forget heaven for a second. What's in space? The sun, the moon, and, you guessed it, stars. Heaven should have been translated as space, but obviously back then they didn't know the word for space. Now, here is a paragraph taken from the older text that the Bible copied from, talking about Enki creating humans and getting us humans to carry his baskets. Enki, Mao, created humans, many more texts that go through this. There is your God, there is your Father, an alien from another planet. Sorry. True.
More than a dozen striking similarities to what Plato had described as...
This person's talking about the Eye of Sahara, the Rikat structure in Africa, and saying that it matches some of what Plato said. Now, for everything that he says that matches Plato, I can then say the opposite, such as Plato says it's supposed to be 150 miles away from Athens, whereas the Rikat structure is 2,000 odd miles away. So for everything that they think they can point, and bear in mind there's no evidence whatsoever that anything was there other than just a circle. However, if you are really interested in finding out where Atlantis is, I believe, and no one's debunked me, found Atlantis. It's on YouTube, or you can just go and watch it on the pinned videos on mine. And I do not go by Plato because we know... Well, watch my video and you'll see why I don't go by what Plato says. I go by other evidence. And that is why I've not been debunked. Now that everyone's getting interested in UFOs thanks to the military pretending to shoot down UFOs, watch my previous video to know what that means. There's a website that I've got which is called Our True History. Now, this doesn't just cover modern UFOs. I actually researched for 40 years spirits, Bigfoots, ancient Egypt, Greece, etc., India. And the reason I do everything is because they are all connected. So unlike other researchers which will just tell you one little thing, I cover it all. And if you don't believe me, just watch my videos on TikTok. Over 900 and something odd videos already. Or you can go to outtruehistory.co.uk and watch them there on YouTube as well. You can find everything. I've also got podcasts and links. So if you are interested in to know how spirits or light energy beings, orbs, are connected to aliens and connected to Bigfoot, and how the ancient tablets, I go through it all because I've been doing it for you guys. Our True History. Jesus will save you. God will forgive you for your sins are the type of messages I receive while I'm doing my live video chats. While I'm talking about aliens creating humans, religious people come on and basically try and say that I'm wrong and that there's Jesus, etc. Now, I have a feeling these people do not actually genuinely believe there is a Jesus and even a God. And the reason why I say that is because when I put my videos out, like video number 954, where I show the God is an Anunnaki called Enki that they're referring to when they say the Father, with proof, I show proof, and no religious person comes on and actually tells me I'm wrong on that. So they only seem to do it on my live chats. So if there's any religious people, go watch my video 954. Please, I've done 900 odd videos, and some of those are about Jesus and God, etc. But no one's come back to me. Tell me that I'm wrong, please.